My name is Lena Morales, and the night my brother screamed that I stole his inheritance was the night. I realized my family never wanted me to succeed. I did not see it coming. Not the rage. Not the accusations. Not my own mother standing there, silent, like she agreed with him. The night should have been beautiful. I had just bought my dream place, a 2-bedroom penthouse in Tribeca, with wide glass windows that made the whole city feel like it belonged to me. But the moment Ethan stepped in and saw the view, everything changed. Before we go further, make sure to subscribe because what happened next shocked even me. I remember how he said it. Lena, how did you afford this? His voice had that tight edge, the one he used whenever something good happened to me. I kept my tone gentle because I wanted peace. I worked for it. And I got lucky on a couple of investments. I told you. His eyes scanned the marble counters, the open terrace, the ceilings that stretched high like a cathedral. Then he turned to me with this twisted grin. You are lying. For a second, I did not understand. Ethan, what are you talking about? He stepped closer, lowering his voice. You used Mom and Dad's money. Their savings. The inheritance. You took what was meant to be mine. My heart dropped. What? I did not take anything. He jabbed a finger in my face. You must think I am stupid. You think I do not know you could not afford this. You barely survived your 20s. You had debt. You failed college twice. You struggled your whole life. Suddenly you own a penthouse? No, Lena, his voice rose. You stole from us. I could not even breathe for a moment. Not because of the accusation, but because he said it with absolute conviction, like he had been waiting years for the chance. I tried to keep calm. Ethan, I am 32. I built my own business. I paid off my loans. I made smart investments. I did not take anything from anyone. He laughed, loud, harsh. Stop pretending you are better than me. That hit. Something inside me, something old and bruised. But I swallowed it. I am not pretending. I am telling you the truth. Instead of listening, he went straight to the hall closet, then the bathroom, digging around like he expected to find a suitcase full of stolen cash. Where is it? He demanded. Where is the rest? In that moment, I realized this was not about money. Not really. It was about the fact that I, the younger sister who was always the disappointment, did something he could not imagine. When our parents arrived an hour later because he called them screaming, I expected Mom to shut him down, or at least ask for the truth. But she just looked at me like she was studying a stranger. Lena, how did you pay for this place? Something inside me cracked. Mom, I told you. My company is doing well. I made good investments. Why are you believing Ethan over me? Dad crossed his arms and said quietly, It is not unbelievable to question it. Lena, a penthouse is a lot. My hands went cold. So you all think I am a thief? They did not answer. And sometimes silence is the worst answer. The worst part? I felt myself shrinking. I felt 13 again, sitting at the dinner table while Ethan bragged about his football trophies and Mom said she was proud of her son, her golden boy, her future success story, and me. I got told to be quiet while grown-ups talked. Even as an adult, they still acted like I was temporary, replaceable, not meant for anything big. And now that I had something big, they automatically assumed it must be stolen. Dad walked through the penthouse like a detective. This is expensive. The HOA alone must be thousands. You sure you want to be responsible for something like this? Responsible. That was the word he always used when he wanted to say I was not capable. Ethan followed behind him, whispering, She is hiding something. I know it. Mom turned to me. Where is the paperwork for the purchase? I felt heat rise in my chest. Are you serious? Lena, she said softly, if you did nothing wrong, show us. It was humiliating. But I wanted it to end. So I brought out the folder from my bedroom drawer. Purchase agreement. Mortgage documents. Proof of income. Investment statements. I handed them over with my hands shaking. Ethan snatched them and scanned through, frowning deeper by the second. This is fake, he muttered. These numbers are too high. She is lying. I stepped back because I felt my body trembling. I am not faking anything. He looked up, eyes full of something dark. If you did not steal the inheritance, then where did you get the money? From working, I said. From building my life. He shook his head slowly, like I was telling him the sky was green. No, I do not buy it. And you know what? I am going to get a lawyer. I am going to find out what you took, and I will make you pay it back. My jaw dropped. A lawyer? For what? He jabbed the papers at me. For fraud. For stealing from our family. Mom gasped like he had uncovered a crime. Dad looked disappointed. And the worst part? None of them stood by me, not one. That night after they finally left, I sat on the cold tiles of my kitchen floor and cried until my throat burned. Not because I did anything wrong, but because no matter what I achieved in life, my own family looked at me and saw a mistake. A fluke, a thief. I slept barely 2 hours before my phone buzzed the next morning. It was Ethan, a voice message. He sounded calmer, but colder. Lena, I spoke to an attorney. They said if there is suspicious financial activity, they can file an injunction. I am giving you one chance. Tell the truth before this goes further. I stared at my phone, shaking. I did not reply. 2 days later, I got a letter. A real legal notice. He actually did it. He filed a preliminary claim, accusing me of financial misconduct, involving potential inheritance, misappropriation. I felt sick. My own brother was trying to drag me into court over money I did not take. But here is the thing about being wrongly accused. At first, you feel powerless. Then something shifts. Something wakes up. I called my own attorney, a woman named Rachel with a calm voice and sharp mind. She flipped through the notice and said, "This case is empty. He has no evidence. But his aggression tells me there is something bigger behind this." Bigger? I asked. She nodded. People do not file claims like this unless they are hiding something or desperate for something. That word, desperate, it stuck with me. A week later, I found out why. It happened on a Sunday morning. I walked past the building, cafe where residents picked up packages and chatted over coffee. One of the doormen, a sweet older man named Victor, stopped me. "Miss Morales, your brother was here again." My stomach tightened. When? Yesterday? He tried to get upstairs, but security turned him away. He said he needed access to your financial mail. I froze. My what? Victor lowered his voice. He said he had the right to it. My heart started pounding. Why would he need my mail? Why would he be this obsessed? Why would he? Then I remembered something. Something tiny. Something I had ignored. The day he first visited, before he started screaming, he had asked casually, "Do you still get your business mail sent here? The investment stuff?" At the time, I did not think anything of it. But that question mixed with the lawyer, the obsession, the desperation. Something was wrong. Very wrong. That night, I opened my financial inbox and scrolled through the last 6 months. I was not sure what I was looking for until I found it. A notification from one of my investment accounts. The one that gave me the biggest return 5 years ago. The one that changed everything for me. The one I thought nobody knew about. It showed an attempted access from an unverified device. 2 attempts. Then 4, then 8. My chest tightened. Because the location of the login attempts was familiar. Too familiar. The attempts came from my parents' house. Suddenly everything spun. Why would someone at their house try to break into my accounts? Why now? Why after I bought the penthouse? Why after Ethan accused me? I felt cold all over. There was something underneath this. Something ugly. Something hidden. I grabbed my phone, ready to call my attorney, when a message popped up on my screen. From Ethan. 1 sentence. 12 words. And those 12 words made my hands go numb. "Lena, we need to talk. Mom told me what you did. I know everything." I stared at the message, my heart sinking. Because I had no idea what everything meant. And that was the moment I heard a knock on my penthouse door. Firm, heavy, too familiar. I walked toward it slowly, every nerve screaming. I opened the door. And what I saw standing there almost dropped me to my knees. When my brother Ethan pointed at me, in my own penthouse, and screamed that I had stolen his inheritance, I felt something inside me finally snap. For years, I had let him talk over me, take credit for things he never did, and act like being born first made him king of the family. But what he did next made everything even darker. He lunged toward me like he actually wanted to hurt me. My heart jumped into my throat. I backed up, keeping my hands in front of me. "Ethan, stop. I am not fighting you." He kept coming. His eyes were wild, almost glassy, like he had been drinking. "You think you are better than me? Buying a penthouse in Tribeca? You think that makes you someone?" I swallowed hard. "I never said that." He stepped so close I could smell the whiskey on his breath. You took what was supposed to be mine. Mom tried to get between us, but he shoved her aside. She stumbled into my hallway mirror so hard the glass rattled. Something cold and electric went through me. That was the moment I realized this was not just about money. This was about every resentment he had buried since we were kids. Mom held her arm and whispered, "Ethan, please stop," but he kept staring at me. I kept my voice as calm as I could. "You need to leave." He laughed like I had just told him a joke. "No, you are going to pay me what I am owed." My stomach knotted. "There is no money owed." He looked around the penthouse with a twisted smirk. "We will see." Then he stormed out. I did not know it then, but that was the beginning of the real nightmare. 2 days later, I was getting ready for work when I received an email from a law firm with his name on it. I thought it was a prank at first, but it was real. Ethan was suing me. He claimed that our parents had promised him the majority of their estate, and that my real estate purchases had been made using money intended for him. My hands shook as I read it. Pure lies, bold lies. I called him immediately. He answered on the 4th ring. "Are you insane?" I asked. He sounded almost bored. "It is what it is, Ava, nothing personal. I need the money." I felt my throat tighten. "You want to destroy my life for money you know does not exist?" "You have it," he said flatly. "You are living in it." Before I could respond, he added, "You had every advantage handed to you. You owe me." Then he hung up. I stood there staring at my phone like it had betrayed me. I had paid for college myself. I built my business myself. I worked 2 jobs for years. Ethan wanted everything without putting in anything. The lawsuit hit me harder than I expected. Court fees, lawyers, meetings. The stress kept me awake at night. I barely ate. I kept asking myself how a brother could do this. Mom kept saying, "He is angry. He will calm down." But every week, the situation escalated. He told extended family members that I had robbed him. He told his friends I manipulated our parents into giving me control of everything. He even showed up outside my building once and yelled at the doorman demanding access. My anxiety was a constant tightrope across my chest. I felt unsafe in my own home. One night, I found him waiting across the street, just standing there staring up at my windows. That was when fear turned into something sharper, determination. Revenge was not my first instinct, but it became my last option. The turning point came during a legal meeting. My lawyer, a quiet older woman named Karen, leaned forward and asked, "Ava, did you know your brother filed for bankruptcy last year?" I froze. "What?" "No, he hid it. He is in deep debt, very deep. He is trying to use this lawsuit to pull assets from you." I felt heat crawl up the back of my neck. He had been gambling, drinking, burning money, and now he wanted me to clean it up. Karen continued, "There is more. He forged a document." My breath caught. "Forged what?" She slid a paper toward me. My father's signature, but not his handwriting. It was a fake letter claiming Dad intended to transfer future property interests to Ethan. A chill ran down my spine. "He did this?" "Yes," she said. "And if we expose it, it becomes a crime. A serious one." I sat there staring at the forged signature, and the anger that had been building for months finally settled into something cold and focused. That was the mid-twist. The moment I realized Ethan was not just entitled, he was dangerous. I spent the next week gathering everything I could. Old emails, financial records, messages, even recordings of his drunken rants saved on my phone. I was building a wall of truth. A wall he could not climb. But I needed one last thing. Proof of intent. So I called him. "Ethan, can we meet? Just talk?" There was silence. Then he said, "At the penthouse." "No," I said quickly. "Neutral place." He agreed to meet at a cafe downtown. When he arrived, he looked thinner, more desperate. He sat across from me, barely meeting my eyes. I kept my voice soft. "Why are you doing this?" At first, he played dumb. Said I owed him. Claimed Dad wanted him to have everything. I listened, waiting. Then he slipped. "Look," he said, rubbing his face. "If you just pay me something, anything, this lawsuit will go away." My heart hammered. "Pay you?" He nodded. "Give me 1 million at least." You have it. There it was. Extortion, clear as daylight. I kept my hands steady as I recorded every second from my phone under the table. He kept talking, digging his own hole. You can afford it, he said. You bought a penthouse. You pay, I drop everything. When he left, I felt my knees weaken. It was over. I had what I needed. The final confrontation happened in the courtroom weeks later. He walked in confident, wearing a cheap suit and smug expression. He thought he would crush me. Then my lawyer stood and said, Your Honor, we would like to submit audio evidence. Ethan's face twitched. The audio played. His voice filled the silent courtroom. If you pay me $1 million, I will drop the lawsuit. His tone, his intent, his greed, everything. The judge looked at him sharply. Sir, this is extortion. Ethan's mouth opened, but no sound came out. My lawyer added, Additionally, we present evidence of a forged document. She handed over the fake letter. The judge's face hardened. Forgery of this nature is a criminal offense. Ethan's hands began to shake. The courtroom buzzed with whispers. My heart pounded so loud I could hear it in my ears. The judge dismissed his lawsuit instantly, and then ordered an investigation into his forged documents and extortion attempt. That was the final twist. My brother was not only exposed, he was facing criminal charges. After the ruling, Ethan stormed out. I followed him into the hallway. He turned, eyes blazing. You ruined me. I swallowed the lump in my throat. You did this to yourself. He opened his mouth like he wanted to scream, but security led him away. I stood there frozen, realizing this was the last time I would see him for a long time. Maybe ever. Mom cried that night, not because of me, but because she finally saw the son she raised for who he was. A man who valued money more than family. A man who tried to destroy his own sister. A man who fell into a hole he dug himself. When it was over, I went home to the penthouse, the place he claimed I did not deserve. I stood by the window looking out at the city lights. I felt relief mixed with grief. I lost a brother, but I saved myself. And the emotional truth I learned was simple. You cannot save someone who is committed to sinking. And you do not owe your life to someone who tries to destroy it.